I think recently, across December and into January, I am experiencing the highest blood sugar, the worst blood sugar that I've ever had in my life. And I just wanted to show you all. I just wanted to put it out in the open, and hopefully that will encourage me to be a bit more accountable and get my head in the game. Literally, just before I hit record, my Apple Watch told me, my brand new Apple Watch, told me that my blood glucose is high. I have barely eaten today and I'm starving, so I literally had half of a cheese sandwich. I've been on a run today and I've done weights, but still my blood sugar is going high. It could be something to do with the fact that I actually ripped my insulin pump out very recently. Haven't managed to sort that out yet today. Busy day, been filming something for Channel 5, which I can't really tell you about right now, but it's very exciting. More on that in a few months, I'm sure. But I just wanted to have a little look at my LibreView and talk through where I think I might have been going wrong. Now, I've said this a million times before, that I have had, mostly in my diabetes career, let's say, which is running up to about 6 years now. It's going to be 6 years in October, I believe, or maybe it is 6 years already and we're about to hit 7. I'm not quite sure. And I'm not really going to waste your time with doing the maths right now, but it's 6 or 7 years. And during that time, during the first, let's say, 5 years of that time, I had pretty decent blood sugar. I think that had something to do with my active job, my active lifestyle, and obviously lockdown put an end to that. I went on this weird little funk where I think I had diabetes burnout, and I sort of put my health on the back burner, which didn't obviously work out well for me. So let's take a look at my blood sugar right now. This is the AGP report, which I'm not really sure what that stands for, but this is from January to February. Maybe we can... Okay, I mean, just look at these glucose profiles. I'm seeing some massive, massive spikes. I mean, that one right there goes off the chart almost. And I don't know what that's telling me. It's telling me that something isn't right. So we're gonna try and work it out together. So look what I'm getting the most highs. I'm getting the most highs around mealtime. So maybe I'm not bolusing correctly and I'm not regularly correcting, because I don't know, I just felt like I was using loads and loads of insulin. Let's see my time in range. Now this is just, I think, from the 20th, so this is a 14-day period. I spent 58 minutes in a hypo. I spent 14 minutes in quite a severe hypo. I spent a quarter of the time in sort of above 10 millimoles, and then an hour and 12 minutes on 13.9 or above, which we'd all sort of agree is quite severe hyper, and we don't really want to be seeing them. I'm using my sensor quite well, 91% of the time, so I'm capturing all the data, but then here on the graph, I think is very telling. So I'm spending as much time, or almost as much time, in my target range as I am high, or either very high. In fact, I'm spending the majority of my time high or very high. Now that could be something to do with, my lack of exercise recently, but that's something that I'm trying to change. Like I said, I've been on like 3 runs this week. I've worked out with weights twice. I've been out of the house today to film, and I've been doing a bit of walking too. So I'm making, I hope, the right decisions which will hopefully help me improve this thing. But I just wanted to look back really and just sort of, not publicly shame myself, but publicly shame myself, if you catch my drift. Mealtime patterns, let's look at that. Oh, I don't record my mealtime. Weekly summary, what's this? So my average glucose, and this is really recently, so this isn't even December where I think my blood sugar was worse. So I'm having, my average glucose is 10.5, 12.6, 10.4, 10, 10.3, 9.6, 9.8. That's between January the 21st and January the 27th. Now that is way high than I would usually see. I'm really worried about my A1C what that's going to be, because these are honestly the highest blood sugar that I've ever experienced. Snapshot, let's take a look at this. So between the same week, just look at those, just look at that huge peak there. I mean, just the highs and lows are, to me, I guess a little bit unacceptable. The only thing I'm doing well is taking regular readings of my blood sugar. Right, so let's go back and see. Okay, let's go through December. So it's even higher in December, and I'm getting more hypos too. So as you can see, if I'm getting higher blood sugar coupled with hypos, then my diabetes is acting really brittly. It means that I'm taking way too much insulin at the wrong time, I think. I think that's the only way I can work it out. So 10.2 with 14 hypo events that week, 11.6 with 10 hypo events that week, 11.2 with 8 hypo events that week, 12.4 with 7 hypo events, 11.5 with 2 hypo events. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, so we're into October now. Right. So you can see I'm decidedly lower with less hypos. In the summer we were quite bad here. 14.9 in May. What was I doing? No hypo events though. Look at that. This is honestly like, I mean, I never do this. I never look back at the data. I just sort of live in the moment, I guess. So looking back at the data, it's showing me that there's a picture here. It's showing me that there's a picture developing where I'm really taking my head out of the game. I'm taking, what's the expression? My foot off the ball. I think what I'm seeing here is that I'm used to dealing with my diabetes in a certain way. I'm still dealing with it like I've always done, which is understanding that I have a propensity to be at the lower end of the scale. My activity and my exercise that I would do before regular exercise would mean that I would take a lesser amount of insulin. I'm still on the same basal profile, I think, that I was using long before lockdown. So, obviously there's a problem here. Obviously, I'm not happy with the readings that I'm seeing, so what am I going to do about it? Well, I've already talked about the fact that I'm doing much more exercise now. I think over time, that's going to increase my insulin sensitivity. I mean, you know, that's the science, so I know that's going to happen. I'm hoping that it's going to kick in sometime soon, because it doesn't seem to be kicking in just yet. You know, I work on a standing desk. I walk on a treadmill all day, so maybe also it's a lot to do with diet. I have noticed that I used to eat a not very carb heavy diet, but recently I've been trying to build healthy carbs into my diet, but also that means that sometimes I do eat quite a bit of pasta because I don't know, I feel like I was developing this weird relationship with food where I was scared of some certain food groups. But looking at my blood sugar, maybe I do need to be eating differently, because, you know, I'm starting to do the exercise again, but I'm not really so far seeing the results. Maybe it'll come in a week or two. I'll have to do an update. But the food thing is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and I'm going to make a video soon and a podcast too to accompany it, to just work out what, if anything, I should be eating with diabetes. You know, like here in the UK, you probably see a nutritionist along with your diabetes specialist nurse or endocrinologist or consultant twice a year. So the nutritionist will be there, and they should really be pointing you into the right direction, but I'm not sure I've got really much educational benefit from that. I sort of maybe lie about what I'm eating. I don't know, because, you know, I can't really remember what my diet is. I don't keep logs of it. And aha, I think I just worked out. I just think I've worked out where I've been going wrong. I'm not carb counting. I'm not carb counting. I'm guessing again. I'm playing the guessing game. Now, I've got a Tandem T-Slim, which has a great inbuilt bolus advisor, a carb calculator. But I think the thing is that I am doing a lot more home cooking. You know, I'm eating food that I've made from scratch, totally from scratch, not from I did HelloFresh for a bit, and that had some information but I didn't feel like it was really accurate because it wasn't working. Anyway, so I'm right now doing a lot of home cooking, and I don't really know how many carbs I'm actually eating, you know, unless I was to weigh everything out if I was making it. But I don't know, I feel like it's hard enough to cook than to do that. But maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Maybe I need to carb count more or even guesstimate better. There's the Carbs and Cals app, which is helpful to a point, but I don't know, is it? Ugh. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. There's maybe a lack of exercise, a not so great diet, and a total lack of carb counting. I think all of these three things are doing me dirty, are making my blood sugar the state that it is. So I guess those are what I've got to improve. I'm going to carb count, I'm going to continue to exercise. Right, so there's a plan, we've worked that out. Thank you for joining me on this wild ride through my blood glucose history. Maybe we'll do it again sometime. If you want to hear more from my life with diabetes, I recently told a story about when I freaked out on the motorway because of my type 1 diabetes. So check out my podcast. The link will be in the description below. It's called Jamie and the Broken Pancreas if you want to check that out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been great to have your company today. If you would like to, please hit the subscribe button and leave me a like too. And if you've got any tips for me, leave them in the comments box below. Loads of you got in touch last time about my last video, and honestly, I find it so heartwarming and helpful, and I'd love to have that again, please, if that's not too much to ask. But that's all from me for today's video. I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye-bye for now.